So electrical wiring can seem like some form of dark arts, even to riders accustomed to working on their own bikes. So when the new DENALI 2.0 series of LED auxiliary lights were redesigned in the summer of 2017, a lot of the emphasis was on how to simplify the wiring and make the system truly plug and play. I'm going to show you how that works in just a second. Hi, this is Mark Cook with Twisted Throttle. If you're new here, check out our website at the link below where you can shop for accessories that are made to fit your motorcycle. And while you're here, leave us a like on the video and subscribe to our channel for updates on future product as well as more motorcycle content. So here's a complete 2.0 D2 setup laid out on the bench here. And we're going to take a few minutes to cover all the components, show you how they fit together, show you how it really is plug and play. Okay, so here's where we start. This is the basic wiring harness that you get with every DENALI 2.0 system, whether it's a D2 pods like this, the D4s, the DMs, or the DR1s. All basically have the same components behind the pods themselves. And this guy is about 38 inches from the end of this connector to the end of this connector. This goes to where the lights are going to go on the front of the motorcycle. The second leg is actually the switch controller, which also is going to go forward on the motorcycle from the battery. And it's about 34 inches in length from this connector to this connector. And you'll see we have another pigtail on this, which we'll get to in just a second. Regardless of which one it is, you're going to get the pod with 24 inches of cable between the pod itself and the connector. Now this connector is a 3-wire design. There's power, there's ground, and there's a data signal on this that tells the pod whether to run at high intensity or low intensity. On the other end of that is really simple. You have a 3-wire connector and it plugs in like this. It's keyed, it can't go any way besides that. The other nice part about this is we've actually done a Y near the front of the harness. That's important because what goes through the motorcycle is just basically this one piece of wire. The nice part about that is a lot of bikes, it's really tight under the gas tank. This makes it a little bit easier to install. So as you get to the front of the motorcycle, you can choose either one of these connectors. They're not left and right. They carry the same power, data, and ground connections. So the last part of that is to connect up your harness. And now we have both pods connected to the harness itself. Now as we work our way back, we're going to get to the battery. Now a lot of motorcycles probably have enough current on an accessory circuit to run these lights. They are very low draw. We always recommend going to the battery first. Simple reason that the battery provides the cleanest, most consistent source of power on the motorcycle. So now you get the two ends of the harness. You got the battery on one end, you have the lights on the other. What goes on this connector is really pretty clever. A basic DENALI 2.0 system comes with this. It's a control relay. The whole idea here is to control the power to the lights without having to run a lot of power through the switch itself. So this is what's going to come with your unit. Now you notice it's not hardwired. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, if you ever need to replace it, you can disconnect it, replace it with a new unit. They don't fail often, but occasionally they do, and you may want to do that. The bigger reason is an upgrade. This is a basic on-off relay. This is the data dim module. Now what this does is it creates a little data signal when you want the lights to be run in a lower intensity, sends it down to the pods and has them run in low intensity. The cool thing about this, you can add this at any time after you've installed the lights on your bike. You don't have to do it before. So we're going to connect this setup as a dual intensity. So all I'm going to do is plug this in, click it home, and I'm good to go. So now what do we have left? This basically is our switch part of the harness. And what comes with every unit is a 2-position on-off switch, which I'll show you here. That is the 2-position. Connects in. Like I said, we have enough cable here from the end of the harness to find your handlebar. Please do connect this someplace where you can get to it when you're riding, generally the left side, so you can do it without having to take your hand off the throttle. Now you notice that we're all connected. We're hooked to the battery, we've got the switch on, we've got the switch in the on position, but the lights aren't on yet. That's because we require a trigger. We don't want the lights to run unless the motorcycle is turned on, so we need 12 volts at this white wire. Now I'm going to simulate that by connecting here, and now we have lights. Now, there are some cases where you may not want to control the lights at all, where you want them to run any time that the motorcycle is running itself. This is where the switch eliminator plug comes in. This is an inexpensive option. It basically plugs into the harness, and you'll see there's a loop in here that basically tells the lights to run all the time. Now, what do you do if you have the data dim module? You do the same thing as you did before. You connect the blue wire into the blue terminal, connect it there, and off you go. So that's the basic layout of the system. As you can see, I didn't have to do any wiring, any soldering, anything with a wire stripper. The toughest part of the installation is probably connecting to the battery as far as the electricity is concerned. Although we always recommend people take really good care and really good time installing this on the bike. Now there are some motorcycles, especially those with LED headlights, where it's difficult to get a clean 12-volt signal when the high beams are on. You may be able to do something with the switch clusters, but generally speaking, we've had difficulty with that. How do we fix that? We change our switches. There's an optional 3-position switch that you plug into place right where the standard switch goes. Again, plug and play. This gives you control over the unit. So you have on at low intensity, on at high intensity, or off. This is the way you choose the intensities that you're going to have on the road. Now, this is still functional. So even if you have it on here, when the bike is turned off, the lights will go off. That's really important to saving the battery. So that's the basic Denali 2.0 wiring harness. We've talked about it electrically and a little bit physically. If there's anything about this we didn't cover here, hit us with the comments below and we'll do our best to answer them. Maybe even do another video. Thanks for watching.